So since we do have two different technologies, how we're going to do our presentation to make it more hands-on is we're actually going to split you up into two different groups, and one group's going to stay in here and work with Haley in the temperature probe, and then the other group is going to come with me, and we're going to go out in the hallway to use the CBR hands-on. So what we're going to do is we're going to...
And then we'll switch.
Oh yeah, and then we'll switch so that everybody can use both technologies. So what we're going to do is count off 1 and 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2.
1,
2.
1, 2.
1, 2. 1, 2. Okay. So 2's come with me, and if some of you want to grab one of your calculators on the way out, and then 1's come up here for the front for Haley. Yep.
And everybody else come up here. Unfortunately, I only have one pro, so we'll have to like become best friends and all like cuddle around. Alright, so how many of you probably, I guess it would be in chemistry class, have used like a temperature probe where you stick it in some water or some liquid and it reads off. That's really all this is. It just happens to use the same technology as the CBR-CBL does. Vernier creates them, but it's really easy to hook up. When you get the technology, it's going to come. It comes in a bag just like this. And if your calculator's off, with the turning off, but if it is off, the best way to set it up is if you just plug it in, this screen automatically pops up, like automatically. If it doesn't, you just go to your apps and then go all the way down to Easy Temp, or Easy Data, that's the name of the application. What's nice is all calculators come, if you buy them from the store, standard with that already like loaded on it, so that's nice. If not, sometimes do your teachers ever like delete everything off your calculator? You can get it online for free, not that big of a deal. So for everybody to be able to see the screen, when you plug it in, it literally just reads temperature like right away. So there's some setups. This is obviously in Fahrenheit. Some setups, if you just hit the setup window, no detection. See, it just comes right up. Alright, so setup, if you click the temperature, to enter, it says your units are in Fahrenheit. If you want to do an experiment in Celsius, it's pretty easy. The units button right there, and you can just toggle down, back up and forth, whichever technology that you so choose. For this one, we'll stick with Fahrenheit just because that's what people are like used to. And then you just hit OK again. So it's in Fahrenheit now. Some other setup stuff is if you go back to the setup menu and you go to a time graph. This takes temperature, like if you're holding it, you can tell it like to how long to read your temperature and like how often it's going to take a reading of your temperature, and that's the way to change that. Is again, you just hit enter for that for under time graph, and then it says sample interval seconds. This says 0.5 seconds, so every half a second it's going to read your temperature. There's ways to edit that if you just hit the edit button, and you can 0.5 seconds is fine. And then next, then it says the number of samples you want it to collect. If we collect for 180 seconds, or 180 samples at a half a second a sample, then the experiment's going to take 60 minutes. We want it to be about 30, so I'm going to switch it to 60 next. And then it's just going to tell you everything's set up, and you can hit OK. And it's pretty much ready to go. That's the basics of setting up because it's a tool that can really do one thing, take some temperature. So for this kind of little, when you get it, it comes with some experiments. We're going to kind of simulate through one of them, which is temperatures of people's hands. So if I can have 3 people be willing to, okay, you're probably going to be really cold, you know, because it's like 8 in the night. But do you want to start? Is that okay? All right. So the best way to do it is if you just hit start, and then it's going to start your 60 or 30 seconds worth, and you're just going to hold it like this for a while. All right. This water is room temperature, and so you're supposed to like hold it in there for a while to like calibrate it back from like a temperature before. So it should be good because it's been sitting out. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
And then okay. And what's nice about it is it's going to automatically graph it, kind of. It looks like not much is changing, but up here you can see, you can stop it in the middle if you ever want to stop it. And then when it's done, it redoes the graph to like zoom in to give you a better like, it changes the X and Y scales automatically. So it gives you a better graph. From here, there's some different things that you can do. Is if you hit, thank you. If you hit the analyze button, you can find a linear regression, a quadratic regression, an exponential fit, all the different things like regression that you can do on your calculator. We're gonna do the stats one. If you hit enter on the stats one, and it says you're left bound, so if you want to do from the start of the graph to the end of the graph, it automatically starts at the start. And you just hit OK for the right bound, OK. And it automatically gives you mean, median, mode. And that's what this activity is based off, is you take a bunch of people's temperature and you write down their mean, median, and mode. And then you can, as a class, graph mean, median, mode, talk about the differences of people's hand temperature. It's pretty basic, but it gets you used to the technology. So we're just going to do max. Your max is 84 point. Can you tell me what it says?
84.087.
Alright, so then we'll have somebody else do it. So if we just hit OK, and then if we hit main, it goes back to main. And then we'll calibrate it. Who wants to go next? You want to? All right. All right. Are you ready? Do you want to hit start for me?
Yeah.
And hit OK. And you just wait 30 seconds. Some other things that you can use this technology for. Do you guys remember in calculus Newton's law of heating and cooling problems? It's a way to maybe try to do a real world example of it by sitting some coffee in the back of the room for the whole class period. And it can take your temperature for a really long time. So it can take the temperature every second, every 5 seconds or something. And then you can look at that graph and then maybe you could do the calculus problem and see, okay, after 45 minutes it was supposed to have this temperature. Does it? Some other things are just some data collection. It's pretty easy for data collection, mean, median, mode, linear regressions, all that kind of thing. And like everybody else's technology, it tends to precision and all those kinds of things. All right, so for you, we will analyze. If you want to hit analyze for me, and then stats. Left bound it should be all right. Okay, and okay. Your max was 85.80. All right, and then we'll do one more. Who wants to go next? We'll leave it at 2, I guess. So again, if we keep doing this, you could do a whole class group, whatever. And with 2 of you, I guess you would have the max, and you can do different things with that. Any questions? That's basically what the technology is. So. All right, you guys can go out in the hall, and I'll go to the other group.
Okay, ones come over here and grab a calculator.
And everybody else comes
And then
huddle
twos